Who wants to be typical? I don't want to be typical, so I'm coming on for like an hour, and I entitled this Do What You Want Motivation. For the past few days, all of my lives have been different because do what you want. Do what you want. Do exactly what you want. Forget societal standards. If you are a woman, you do not need to just abide by the rules that are told to you, meaning you get to make your life what you want. And I will advise you to dream it into existence, to do it into existence, to be the existence of the life you want. You do not just need to do that typical go to school, find a partner, get married, buy a house that's average, that you don't really like, stay with that person, and live life that way. You have the ability to create the life you want. If your life is to travel and learn yourself until you figure out what you want for the next year or the next 6 months, do that. Do that. You don't have to know exactly what you want for the next 20 years. Most people don't. Do something until you don't like it anymore. Then put it down and do something else. You can do whatever you want. And I've been doing this. So I always wanted to not work in an office. So I actually, aside from working at my dad's office, I don't know what it's like to just have a regular job, because the moment I didn't like something, I would leave and do something else, because my ability to not do what I want has enabled me to do what I want. My ability to not do what I want, what's up, Kenny Mac, created me only doing what I want. You see? So I've never actually been in a space where I had to ask someone to take a vacation or take time off. I don't know what that means. But because I'm used to that, now I'm in a space where I just have to create the life where I can continue doing that, because that's what works for me. But if it doesn't work for you, and there is a sense of security for having that thing that you do, then do that. And I'm saying this because all too often when I'm on live, I will get a ridiculous response like, not everyone can do that. Sure, not everyone can do everything, but I'm sharing about me. I'm not sharing about everyone. A blanket statement often won't work for everyone. And when someone says, well, everyone can't do that, so what about everyone? What about you? I'm never speaking of a blanket of people. I'm speaking of me. And when I see the remark, not everyone could do that, of course, not everyone, there's billions of people on this earth. I don't know what people can do. But the real question is, why would that be the immediate response? Why wouldn't that be the assumption? And what does that mean for you? Does that mean you can't do that? Because if that's the case, change your response from not everyone can do that to I don't allow myself to do that, because there's a difference. And what's up, Sam? What's up? What's up? What's up, Sam? What you doing up? You should be asleep. And I'm flying in tomorrow, Sam. I'm flying in tomorrow night. So I was going to FaceTime you in the morning because I'm coming. That is, are you still here? Did you tap in, Sam? I saw your name come up. I saw your name come up. Put a message. Put a message. So, aside from that, um, it was Beauty Saturday, and I love that. I love a Beauty Saturday, meaning unapologetically expensive. I love that name. And to even apologize for whatever you want, especially the amount of money for the things that you like, is a trap. Like, you like what you like. I love a beauty weekend or a beauty day on the weekend, meaning Saturday, nails, face mask, exfoliate, brows, deep conditioner, all of that. I love that because then you can continue the rest of the weekend knowing that you've done all of your beauty, and then you go into the week glowing, 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 glowing. That's what I did today. And I also posted a video to my YouTube, which is the same name, about the TED Talk experience. So check that out, because what I learned from giving a TED Talk is more than just the experience of speaking on the stage. Really, it was about like the self-doubt. Um, everyone, not everyone. I show up with confidence. I always show up with confidence. And the beauty of where that confidence comes from is how I have learned to navigate resistance within myself, meaning resistance of me challenging myself accomplishing something. And since TED was a little over a month behind me, going towards TED. What's up, retired LEO Lawrence? I looked at some of your content. I like your content. Yes, yes. Hello, hello, hello. Are you, I think you said you're in New Mexico. Are you in New Mexico? No, Arizona, I believe. One of those two. Just clarify, because I like to look at the background and see if I can immediately guess the place, because most places I can. And my father would always be able to do that. We could be watching a movie and he would say, Florida, Florida. Okay, I was way off. My dad would say, oh, that was filmed in LA, or oh, that was filmed in Chicago. And Chicago has a very notable skyline. So thank you, Zach, for the heart me. Thank you, thank you. And you caught me on a auspicious time, because I typically don't come on. But I said, hey, why not I just pop in? Thank you for the likes, retired LEO Lawrence. And thank you for the heart me, Zach. These are some of my hopefuls that are seeing me when they typically don't. I'm typically not seen on Saturday. I would be asleep. But I decided, oh, you see, just to come on briefly and talk about that. Yeah, motivation to do what you want. Really create you. This is always what I speak about. The creation of oneself, meaning I'm not looking at anyone to show me how to dress or what to do. I actually believe that comes from, I do believe a bit of that comes from traveling. I really learned style when traveling and living abroad. I have always said this, Americans can't dress. I don't really think highly of Americans and our way of dressing. I don't believe Americans know how to dress at all. But we're not in a culture of dressing. It's not exactly, we don't. It's not like somewhere, I will use specifically France or Italy, where someone in your family is probably a tailor, or like 5'8", a tailor, or owns a garment store, or makes textiles, or is an atelier, or sews, and you're aware of that. You're aware of tailoring. You're aware of how things are supposed to lay on a body. Americans just buy anything that's tight. Like tight is good, and that's not really great. The best types of silhouettes are the ones that caress the body but don't restrict the body. And this really came from me living abroad, but also learning. I know how to sew and I knit, and I've always loved that. Okay, thank you for sharing. Layering when it's cold. What's up, Divine Tarot? Instead of just like, I wear a shirt and a jacket. No. When I lived in London, that's how I learned to layer, and how I learned you need many layers, because London is like a humid cold. It's not like a New York cold or a Chicago cold. It's a damp cold that just gets to your bones. Like it's a damp, wet, miserable cold. It's terribly cold. And with that, it's an underlayer, it's an undershirt, it's like a heat tech. I used to love Uniqlo heat techs. Even now, I would like a like Under Armour heat tech, then a shirt, then a turtleneck, then a cardigan, then a scarf, and then a coat and your gloves. You layer. Of course, Montreal, because they are French. Yes, yes, yes. This is what I love about the Parisiens, or just Français in particular, because it's an effortless style. Yeah, yeah. And I drink tea all day as well. Yeah. And in London, you drink tea because it's miserably cold all the time. I have content on my page from like a year ago when I said, when I had moved to London, because I moved to London when I was 24. And I love to be outside and I love the sun. And that's where I learned there is no sun. There's no sun, and there's no summer, and there's no such thing as 4 seasons. London is a great place. I'm happy that I lived there for as long as I did. And I was even thinking, would I move back? I maybe would have a place and just go for an extended time, but throughout the year, never again. Never again. Never again. Simply because you will go 7, 8 months of rain. It will be 3 months of misty, gray, cold days where you just don't see the sun, where 8 a.m. looks exactly the same skyline as 4 p.m. And it is miserable, but because of that, I just traveled to the different warmer cities in Europe. And I spent a lot of time in West Africa because it's always warm and it wasn't that far of a flight. However, back to Americans not knowing how to dress and Americans have style, just bad style. Everyone still does except for Americans, including me. I love Paris. I lived in Paris too. Paris, similar weather. It's slightly better, but I'll talk about that. I still dress up. I would never. I'm always like in shock when I go to the airport, because when you say people used to dress up to go to the airport, yeah, in the U.S., but everywhere else in the world, no one rolls out of bed with a bonnet, pajamas, and slippers. That's it. It looks like American. If you ever see anyone at the airport like that, I know they're American with pajamas or even sweats. I don't own any sweats. I wouldn't wear sweats, and I wouldn't wear sweats to the airport. However, no. And it's not dressing up, but even a casual, just smart outfit to go to the airport. Come on. And these are not a short flight or a long flight. I'm still going to dress to be seen. I always say the airport is the world's intersection. And for a man or a woman, if you want to network or meet new friends or meet a romantic partner, do not show up at the airport looking like you are cleaning out your garage. Like, don't do that. The airport is the only place in the world, and this is coming from someone, yes, gentle Beastar, it's complete. I've met a lot of men that I've had a romantic past and future with, traveling in the airport, in the lounges, checking into my hotel. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but this is only, again, let me stress this. This is Americans. This is Americans. And I will say again, I lived outside of the US, well, essentially all of my 20s and 30s, about 10 years. And a flight attendant for 15 years and traveled a lot. And I traveled with my family before I started flying. Whenever someone meets me, they say, "You're American?" Because you won't even see me go to get the mail in my pajamas. It may be a nice workout outfit, but I won't even, if there's a man, I call it a sexy visitor. If there is a sexy visitor, I would not even I don't need one, but I wouldn't put a scarf on my head. I just want it. I just want it. But if I'm not going to do that, there's no way you're going to catch me in the airport with a scarf on my head. And I remember, and this is for me, I'm not advising anyone to not dress the way they want to dress. Do what you want. This is why this is labeled motivation to do what you want. But yeah, pajamas are for the bedroom and the house. And man, let me tell you this. I would just observe being on a flight, working a flight when I was a flight attendant, and seeing women come and put on their bonnets and dap acne medication on their face and put on pajamas. And I'm like, you're still in a public place, right? I know it feels like you're at home and you're going to sleep, but you're actually in a public space. You're in a public space. And I don't think these people actually change into these pajamas. I think they actually roll out of bed and they just get out of bed and grab their bag and take their butt to the airport. So you mean to tell me you slept in those pajamas, then just got out of the bed, grabbed the bag, and got your butt to the airport? This is all bad. This is all bad. All bad. And I'm the one to say it. I even told my niece, yeah, you can't wear that with me. Not with me. Yeah, you can wear that any other time. You can wear that with your mama. You can wear that with your daddy. You can't wear that with me. And I'm one of those. So you change into real clothes. We are going to the airport. It is even it's a privilege to travel. It's a privilege to be in the airport. It's a privilege to see the world. It's a privilege to be around me. So you better do your due diligence and get to getting. Put on some nice clothes. Come on, we showing up for life now. I'm showing up for life, okay? When I show up, the moment that I take a breath and I wake up in the morning, I'm showing up. I've showed up for life. I don't take that lightly. And I will constantly say this. When I gave my TED Talk last month, the TED Talk was about, or it shifted my thinking when I was on a flight where the left engine went out and we had to make an emergency landing. That changes how you see life. Ain't no way I'm going to be able to have life and show up like I just got out of bed. You got to be out of your mind. And For ladies, let me tell you, more than likely you will meet someone just during the course of the day. So if you think, oh, I'll just put this ugly shirt on with holes in it so I can run to the store, that's when you meet people. Just even that element of like, all right, I will put on a nice workout outfit or a just something that I look presentable. What's up, Lolita? That's when you meet people. But ain't nobody gonna say, hey, you look beautiful when you don't. When you don't. You got paint and spaghetti sauce on your shirt? No, throw it away. Throw it away. Throw it away. I don't know where this started, and my mom is 73, but all of my grandmothers and aunties were those women that always put their rouge on and they lipstick on and took out their rollers and looked beautiful. And yes, please tap the screen, because let me tell you, thank you, today was beauty day, so I did a mask and exfoliate and I tint my eyebrows and deep condition and do my nails, all of that, because then I can, I don't know, did it? I think it just made it more acceptable for people to throw on just some stretchy pants and a shirt and say, well, this is me. Well, you know what? If it's you, and ear screws. My grandmother, I had all them, them old folks, she called them ear screws. Girl, I didn't put my ear screws in. It was her ear screws. She had to put her ear screws in. She had to put her rouge on. Her ear screws. A little blush on. One granny had, all of them had beautiful hair, but one would wear, the little tightly curled wig. Not the wigs of today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I made a post about this because I've changed to my holiday red. And that's my thing, my signature red nails. It's like my thing. Even as a flight attendant, I love going to get a manicure, but just the beauty of being able to give yourself a manicure, and it's quiet, and it's almost like a meditation. I'm just nicely doing my nails, and I've invested in doing this, and I feel great. Yeah, because I'm not stepping out in a shirt with spaghetti sauce and Elmer's glue. No. Just so you know, if you are out and you got your bonnet on and your pajamas on and you have your Starbucks, pumpkin spice latte, and it's spilled on your shirt, and you are next to me, whoever's in there looking for someone's gonna come up to me. And don't blame me, because I know that people are looking. So I'm showing up. Let's hang out. Man, everything. It depends on what it is or what day it is or what I want to do. But it could range from pop to hip hop to French music to Spanish music to Brazilian music to classical. I played classical standout bass. I don't think I've ever seen jeans in church. They must not love God enough. Yeah, my father was in the church, and I would always say the church people, the saved and sanctified people, are the realest, meanest people you could ever meet. This is probably why I'm still traumatized, and every time I leave the house, I'm presentable, because you gotta wear stockings. You can't grow. Me too. You can't go out bare-legged. That's too tight. That I still have a little of that trauma. I've separated most of my religious trauma. The hats, yeah. The elders were the real gangsters, and but there was a softness about their honesty. There was a softness about their honesty, because a lot of these people, before they were saved and sanctified, boy, oh boy, they, 590 destiny, that's that may be something that you would want to listen to yourself with. because it's not that you don't want, maybe it's not attention, but it's more so you may not think you're worthy of being seen. So I'm calling you in, not calling you out. If this is a true statement and you're choosing to look bad on purpose because you don't want attention, you're making the assumption that you're getting attention, and you're making the assumption that by looking bad, you won't get the attention, which to me sounds like I don't want to be seen. Yeah, well, Catholicism is, how have you recovered from that? How have you recovered from that? Yeah, they can tell you if you're not right. All these people before they were saved and sanctified were just in the streets like everyone else. Um, it's thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for tapping the screen. However, there's a lot that I learned from the church. I mean, there's an element of community. There's an element. There's a lot of funny stuff because I went to like Pentecostal church, and my grandmother was the pastor of the church when I was young. So I was already highly favored because I got to sit in the pulpit and I got to go in the back in the office and watch them count the offering. And I would sit with my grandmother and watch her play the organ. So actually, the gospel organ is my favorite instrument because it reminds me of those times and the harmonies and just the vibration of a gospel organ is one of my favorite sounds. However, thank you, so nice. Church is where you can learn a lot of things. That's how you learn to talk to people, how you learn to talk to your crush, how you learn to, you got to sit up straight. I was always the one crawling under the pews. My mom would say, yeah, they never can. What's up, Terry? What's up, Terry? I was always climbing under the pews. I had to, this is where my speaking came from. Nice to read your comment. Now I don't say nice to see you. I say nice to read you because I'm not seeing you. Technically, I'm seeing the words. But I'm happy to read your comment. The first kisses or first all sorts of things. I mean, the ones you want as a kid are always in the church. And then there's the cool churches or the like prestigious churches or rival churches. It's a whole nother system. And I find that powerful if you can use it to your advantage. Yeah. And use it to learn, because I was in that inner circle since my grandmother was the pastor, and so I knew everyone and everyone knew her, so I got a pass and I was already assumed to be whatever they thought in their mind because my granny was the lead of the church, all of those things. And there's still an area of respect. I am not, I do not identify with any monotheistic religion. However, I have respect for it. And there's what came from it is what came from it. But the grannies tried to teach you, don't be leaving your house looking like who did it and what for. That's why I said the other night, oh, okay, I know how that is. Yeah, I know all about that with the pastor life. And even the things that they would say, like who did it and what for, not for, what for. My mom would say, you don't think fat meat is greasy? And I'm like, what is fat meat being greasy? I don't even think, what does that even mean? I don't know what that means. I'm 7 years old. If you tell me you don't think fat meat is greasy, I actually can't conceptualize what that means. And I'm probably still traumatized to this day, but I do love my parents. Thank you, Derek. Did she say that? You don't think fat meat is greasy? And I didn't even know what that meant. There were so many things that these people would say. And this is why this is entitled Motivation to Do What You Want. Because now I just do what I want. I'm so tired of, and even as a kid, they knew I wouldn't listen. If I wasn't listening then, there's no way as a adult with my independence that I'm going to listen to you. Oh, you never heard, you don't think fat meat is greasy? Well, now you heard it. You don't think fat meat is greasy, which means you don't believe this is true. That's what it comes down to. Well, that I'm sorry that that is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, everyone, if you are from, listen, if you're from the US, at least 3 generations ago, yeah, because there's even stigma on that. With SA, there's stigma on that, and there's stigma of just women's bodies. A lot of our fear, I would hear from the women in my family saying, you know, you shouldn't wear that because a man will think that. Well, I don't care. This is so I have to carry that fear in every day of my life and what I wear. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And that's not empowering. And I don't believe that. So there's that. And I was skinny and I looked like I was 14 up until like last week. So I when all of the other young girls were trying to, I love you too. Thank you. When all the other young girls were like telling people I'm 15, I'm 17, I'm 18, even if I would have said that, they would have been like, no, you're not. Are you even 12? Like I always looked a lot younger than my actual age. And I never wanted to be older. I've always enjoyed just every single year and every single stage. Yeah, I, I mean, I've had a colorful life. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for the follow, Becky. I've had a colorful life. I still do. And man, you know what's weird? I was saying the age isn't real. Like I don't have aches or pains in my body. I'm quite fit. I'm active. I made a post where I do cold showers or cold plunges. Yeah, I'll be 40 in a week. So I understand. I don't feel that. I just feel me. I feel healthy and alert, but I can't even like put an age onto what I feel. Um, I, I don't feel a certain age. I feel responsible, and I feel like I am great at making decisions. But outside of that, thank you, Polite Mango. Um, my listen, my goal is, yeah, I know, I get that all the time. I get that all the time. When I travel with my niece who's 23, they think I'm around her age, which is nice. Listen, I like a young man. Listen, I won't turn down a young one. Come on now. Somebody needs to teach him and put him back into the world, okay? Someone needs to teach him and put him back into the world. And who but me? But, but it's the truth. Yay! Oh, yay! You're a Scorpio. Happy birthday. Yeah. Well, Solo. Listen, listen. Someone, you got to do some of the due diligence. And I'm all for it because I do have a lot of uh, guy friends who are in their 20s who probably are in love with me, but we're actually friends. And I don't know what seasoned means. I know what seasoning means for food, but I don't know what seasoned means for a person. Yeah, 26, come on now. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. Listen, 18 is legal, okay? And so I have no qualms with that at all, at all. at all. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. Yes, I sure will. I'm determining where I'm going to fly to. Um, I don't think that that's possible. I don't think anyone can be too old. You can be too young if you're younger than 18, but every experience teaches you something. Right. Well, you don't know, if you're referring to me, you don't know what my experience would be, but I will take that all as something positive. So I would date 18. I don't know. I don't know. I'm attracted to people and their energy and how they feel and their intellect. I really like people who can teach me something and are intelligent. And that's not something that is maybe easily accessed because I've had such an abundant life and lived in different countries and traveled a lot and learned different ways of life and cultures and social systems. So um, yeah, they can be ready. Listen, I'm all for teaching someone. I'm all for teaching someone, but I'm not looking for someone specifically, and age is just a number, but I love a friendship. Like, here's the other thing for any man in this chat, that limits you when you think that it has to be a romantic relationship or nothing else. That's whack. Thank you, Divine Tarot. That's whack. Like, if you're in my vicinity, first of all, that's a good place to be. That's a good place to be because I'm not just going to be around anyone. In fact, I don't care to be around anyone. But if I actually enjoy your company, that's a great place to be because friendship can always change, but you don't get to decide. And, well, okay, he gave it to you. That's a great, I get a good gift. Was that a good gift? Yeah, as someone I can talk to, but thank you, Divine Tarot. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's quite a gift to give. Someone to talk to. Here's the other thing, I don't really care to talk. Uh, Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Here, there's individuals that actually feel that they have something to say that's meaningful and poignant, and it's not. You just are around people who just aren't that intelligent. So when you say things, it seems like it's this deep way of thought, and it's actually not. And I'm okay with that, but sure, yeah. We had spoke about this yesterday with relationships. I'm always open, but I'm not looking. I'm quite content. I have a beautiful life. My life is full and abundant, and I am healthy and thriving in many ways, and I enjoy my company. So I'm not actively looking for someone to accompany me through life. Now, I'm always open to it, but I'm not actively looking. I do believe it's timing. It's timing, and it's easy, and it just happens. And we had spoke about this because someone said, why don't you just commit? And I said, why would I? Why would I just commit to someone? That takes time. That takes me seeing that it's going to work in my favor. I'm not just giving my beautiful self to you just because you feel that this is what, absolutely not. And there's a restriction in me that has seen women being ruined by just choosing the wrong partner. And we spoke about this. I don't even know if I want to have one person for the rest of my life, but I could change. I could meet that person tomorrow, and everything I'm saying now would be null and void. But as of now, I really enjoy me. I really enjoy me. Yeah, I really enjoy me. I have a great time with me. I am. And when I tell gentlemen this, they're like, oh, well, you should get married. I don't need you to tell me what my life is going to unfold as. Whenever a man has typically said how a woman should proceed in her life, it's often one sided. And I don't care for that. And I am okay with 10-year contracts. Like I can be with you for 10 years. At the 10-year mark, we can revisit our contract to see if we want to renew the lease, or we could say, thank you for sharing the life. Exactly, enjoying life. And sometimes a man, you guys are great, but I'm my favorite. And I say that all the time. Men are great, but so am I. And I find men all the time that are great, and so am I. And sure, and like I love me, I like me, I have fun with me, and I will leave you in a second. We'll get back onto that. I've never, there is no, I don't, Terry, sacrifice. I've never done that. Do you know how quickly I will tell someone it's over? I have a great set of parents and a great foundation and a great outlook. I've never been one to fight for love. I'm definitely not ride or die. I tell people that. Don't look at me for that. I'm not her. I am not her. I don't want to ride and I don't want to, that other word. I want to have fun. But this ride nah, we ain't doing that. Don't do nothing that's illegal around me because I'm telling. Don't bring me into anything because I will tell. Like, I am honest about this, okay? I have a great life. And the moment that I feel that it's no longer great or it's complicated by you, you're done. You're done. You know how many men there are in the world? It's very easy. I've never had a man tell me you won't ever find someone like me. I've never had anyone say that. Yeah, I've never had anyone say that, but they probably couldn't because then I would move countries and change my number. So they probably couldn't call me to tell me that. But they do usually call a year or two later and ask if I want to get back together or if I want to get married. But I do speak about this, especially to young women. Stop fighting. You know, I'm fighting for our love. Don't. Don't. Don't fight for your love. Maybe if you're like in a 20-year marriage, possibly. But if you're in your 20s, especially at any time in life, I'm not fighting to to keep anyone in my life who doesn't want to be there. And I'm not taking any disrespect. I did not see that in my own family. So I'm surely not going to do it with you. Now, let me add, I've usually been the one that's been like the bad one in the relationship. And so that's why I can speak on this because I've been the one that has been dishonest. And that's why now thank you, thank you, thank you. I love that. Thank you. Well, sometimes they don't know how. I don't know if it's more ladies should stand up for themselves, but if you don't know how, and a lot of women are taught to sacrifice themselves for love or for a husband or for conformity or for security. So it's not ever really told to women to stand up and believe that you can make it on your own. That's not what's told to women. And really that's a relatively new idea. That's an NP for me. What's up? What's up? That's a new idea. We're 2 generations into that. 2 generations ago, this is a reason why people had to stay together. You couldn't get divorced. What were you going to do? If you're 1950, what are you going to do? You can't get divorced. So, how that is great, as you should. As you should stand up for yourself. Clarify that how. But when I say I was the person that was like I was the lesson for a lot of people because there's been men in my life who I have been like The woman that thinks they can change the man, I think there's been gentlemen in my life who believed that they could change me, and then like hope won't want to travel, and hope maybe will see that I'm the one, and maybe hope, no, I won't. No, I won't. I've learned and you're done. Or when I've stepped outside of the relationship, that's why I now believe honesty is great, because violating someone's trust, cheating on someone, it said more about me and my lack of the ability to just be honest. Now I wouldn't do that. Before, I almost wore that as a badge. Like, yeah, I cheated on him. Now it's like, oh, okay. I'm actually a fully responsible adult that understands how detrimental that can be to someone. And therefore, use your words instead of really damaging myself, the relationship, and someone else's view or experience with me. So, yeah, no one can change me. I don't think no one can change me, but honesty is huge. And I find honesty is well received if the person is receptive to it. However, if I'm honest, and this may be the person's first time with such transparency, it can be met with like, I don't know what this means, but I don't know. I don't know. Have I ever been married? Oh, yikes. I don't believe that's for me, and technically maybe, but it wasn't real. That's all I can say. I've never really fantasized about being married. I've always said I'll be married a few times because I know myself enough to say I will give it a good try. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It works until it doesn't. And I'm completely okay with that. I am completely okay with that. And there are some gentlemen, not all, that like the appearance of me, the appearance of I'm a speaker and I'm just this bright, positive ball of energy. And then they see this is actually me. And it's like, whoa, this isn't an act. She actually gets up early and runs 5 miles, and she's really positive, and she does like being by herself, and she does just randomly travel and all of that. Exactly. And that's all right, Emily. Then goodbye. Goodbye. I ain't fighting to keep no one, baby. Bye. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to make you the one. Okay? I have I love being with myself. And there's a difference between by myself and with myself. I don't know. I don't know if I'm poly. I don't know. All of these stupid labels. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I've never been in an honest polyamorous relationship, but most people are in, there are not most. I don't know most. There are people that unknowingly are in polyamorous relationships. Would I be able, if someone was honest, I may be open to it, but if you can't honestly tell me, and you have to be aware, if whatever you do, I can do too. And there's quite a few men that aren't able to handle that. They will want to do what they will do, but they would not really want a woman to do the same. I am not for that. Equality for both. So unless you can handle it, don't dish it out, baby. But we don't even have to go down that route. I don't know. I don't think I'm jaded. Yeah, I wouldn't label myself as polyamorous, but I don't know if it was a good setup. I don't know. What men that can't handle if you have somebody else? Men can't. I Not all men, but there are some men that are weird. I love men. I think men are fantastic creatures as well as women. And there's weird women and there's weird guys. And I usually scare off, yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, well, I typically don't, all of the men that I have had serious relationships for the past 20 years have not been born or raised in the US. And there's a reason for that. But also, if a person is religious or came from a religious background, there may be some of that underlying, like, that can't be done within them if you presented honesty of, I am seeing someone else, or I enjoy having multiple people. I don't know. I don't know. I don't, like, as I said, no one has really done anything that has allowed me to put a spotlight on them. So I'm quite okay with me and my dogs and speaking. And yeah, and I've had a man say that, and I was like, oh, okay, because I wasn't looking to, well, even if you do step out, I mean, if that's in your character, then that's something to do with you. Even in that, with dating and cheating, it, for me personally, I won't blame me. It's not about me. That's with someone else. If you could be honest, just don't get in the relationship, or just say, hey, I want something casual. There's ways to have your life how you want it. This is why this is entitled Motivation to Do What You Want. However, when you say the words, here's the other thing. Let me be completely transparent. If I am dating someone, I ask them, what is dating to you? And they'll say, oh, well, what's up, cool Aaron? Dating to me is going out to dinner and getting to know each other. This is the exact conversation I had with the gentleman. I said, okay, great. What dating is to me is that we're getting to know each other. We may go out to dinner or do an activity. We could even travel together because I travel a lot. And for me, dating is without intimacy. And I say that, which means I'm truly seeing what triggers you, your birthday, your favorite piece of cake, prior to intimacy, because that doesn't make sense for me to have intimacy and try to figure out if this is going to, we aren't doing any of that. We are actually getting to know each other. That could take 6 months. That could take a year. I've been in that space with people for a year plus before we have decided to be in a relationship. Now, before there's intimacy, there will be another conversation, because I am not one to, I'm not open just to have meaningless intimacy. And I'm okay without, there's great toys. The developments that have been made in the world of toys for female exploration is amazing. I do not have to just have that intimacy. However, if we do, it's a talk. It's a talk where we are, this is a verbal agreement where we've been in this space, we're moving on to this space, where now this is a long-term relationship, learning to go into marriage or whatever we want to do, and it's me and you, meaning I am your partner, your girlfriend, you're my boyfriend, my partner. Is this correct? It's a verb, it's a talk. then there is no guessing. And I don't know, are we, if, and usually he'll bring it up. But outside of that, I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing any of that. I've gone years without intimacy easily because there's such great accoutrements or toys for women, but also that doesn't work for me. I don't allow, I like clarity in my mind. I am a spiritual being. I do not need to be picking up what you got going on. And there's so much in my life that I don't really focus on that too much. However, as I said, self-pleasure is a great way to explore and to keep one's self-satisfied. So I did have a friend who said, yeah, but we have needs. And I said, but your needs are driving you crazy because you're constantly talking about how unhappy you are with this. Yeah, I do. I do still. I do. A couple of times, let's see, I'm traveling tomorrow. I traveled earlier this month. I was in Germany last month. Yeah, I do travel often and I prefer it that way. So that's what I prefer. And man, you don't want to get involved with me because everyone who has, they have not been able to let me go with ease. So it's for your safety as well as mine. Okay, so I just believe that is helpful. And it's a conversation. Stop this assuming and I think and this is what I did last time. Have a conversation. Be grown. I'm grown and sexy. Okay, I'm not walking around thinking like I think he's only with me. If you're just dating someone, assume the person is with other people. That's what I do. It doesn't bother me because I could be as well. We could even have that conversation. I am seeing other people. Cool. I'm an adult. I'm pretty accepting. Now, if you say, yeah, I like to, I don't know, throw rocks at people when I'm upset, that may not work for me. But if you've told me that, thank you, Nisi, for the follow, then I could say, okay, yeah, I'm not okay with being hit with rocks. But it does take like communication. I had told the same gentleman, I like to communicate. I saw that. Well, yeah, they haven't. They haven't. They've moved countries for me. I mean, I've had all sorts of things, but I'm great and I understand. And well, you don't know total wellness. Again, it's not most women, it's the women you have been associated with. We need to clarify that. You're speaking to a speaker. I excel at communication. It's not that most women don't. A majority of the women that you have been in communication with have not reached that level of communication. There's a big difference. There's billions of people in the world. Most is a really big blanket statement. And compassion, I can communicate and I can listen and I can sit back and say, oh, okay. I can also be compassionate if someone hasn't reached that. Sure, that's fine. Okay, sure. It's there's levels to it. And in a space of being grown and sexy and also being compassionate, I can understand how honest, thoughtful, kind communication could be daunting. What's up, Ronald? To someone who is not aware of it or who has never experienced it or is new to it. It can be like a little standoffish. There's that area too. I'm in a real space of like, okay, I can understand that. And this comes from maybe not always being in that space. However, dating, there's so much you can learn about yourself. And I had made a post jokingly and said, it's you. Most of the time it is you. It could be you. It could be the person. It could be the timing. It could be the way you say something actually isn't as clear or kind as you believe it is coming out of your mouth. There's so many ways. And that's where I believe compassion comes in, and actually listening. Not, well, you should have heard. I don't know what did you hear? Tell me what you heard. Tell me how that made you feel. Why did that? Why was that? Oh, okay. I understand. In the future, I will approach it in this way. Is that a way that feels better for you? Is that a way that you would respond in a loving manner or a honest manner? Or is this new to you? Or do you need some days to think about this? I don't know where someone's starting point is, especially if they're American, because as I told you, I typically won't go out with someone. Yeah. But even that's a blanket statement. Let me change that. I'm just open, as I say. I'm open. I'm open. I'm open. I'm not looking, but I'm always open. And communication is beautiful, and it's something you learn. I saw it with parents, and I had to use it, especially being a flight attendant. And as a speaker, I'm always working on my communication, and it's meaningful to me. It means something to me. I want to be able to communicate with my friends, with my partner, with my family, with myself. And I have said this before, the way we speak to others is how we speak to ourselves. So if I'm kind to myself, and I don't say, Hope, that's so dumb, you always do this. No, I don't speak to myself like that. And I give myself grace, and I forgive myself, and I give myself the area of, oh, you were learning that. Okay, that makes sense. I can speak to someone else like that. It's always, with everything I say, it's me in the most compassionate form. So thank you, William Shelton. Thank you, Melanie of Melamind. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, when I say it's you, I'm always going to plug my TED Talk that I did last month. You can go to my link in bio or go to YouTube and type in Hope TED or Hope TED Emergency Landing, and it'll come up. Because as a speaker, I believe it's us. And it's always the road back to us, learning about us. When we learn maybe something is there that we were unaware of, but once we learn it, we're able to communicate to the world better, communicate to ourselves better, and blossom into what we are born to be. Because I do believe human beings are amazing. People are amazing. This is why I'm a speaker. I love to talk. I love to listen to people. I love to hear people's stories about their lives. People have amazing lives and have survived and have conquered and have transformed. And I love that. And I believe that when we're able to listen without formulating our response, without formulating the judgment and disagreeing, and I gotta tell you what, when I was on that plane that was going down, the left engine went out, and we had to make an emergency landing. Thank you, William Shelton. You wish you were young enough? Well, listen, even if you ain't young enough, listen, all ages, okay, baby? Do not count yourself out yet. Do not count yourself out yet. I thought about this thing called life. And that's, to me, the beauty of life. The beauty of life is just this moment with a human being, not the judgment or why'd they say that. I got to tell them more. No. Nothing is a coincidence. So maybe there's something for me to learn. Maybe there's something for me to learn from this one situation, from this one conversation, from this one person. Maybe it's something I'm learning about myself, and maybe that's enlightenment. However, in that regard, I take every interaction with a sense of love. It is. It is. And this is why I'm usually speaking, journaling, or writing. And I'm talking to my sisters. Yeah, but if you're not taught that anger is not there forever. Like anger can teach us something. I think everything is there to teach. And I have said like anger could be a coach, like a basketball coach, but then the coach goes and you got to play the game. There's a beautiful area of seeing like, what is this teaching me? Why do I continue to hold on to this? How does this build me? What does this anger I'm holding on to protect me from, or protect me? How is this adding to me? How is this beneficial to me? Oh, it's not beneficial. Oh, I've been holding on to it because I don't think I'm lovable. And that's what I've been holding on to for 20 years. Like it's unraveling. And I always give gratitude to my parents because I have a great, thank you. I do have I have a lovely family. Sometimes drives me crazy. However, I'm grateful for them. And I had a foundation where I was able to like be safe and do all of these things. However, I'm compassionate that that's not everyone's background. So what? I've had things happen to me too. And that last thing on the plane made me really look at life again. What is this experience? It's just an experience. But what does that mean for me? What am I here for? How can I be of service? How can I affect? I didn't say change anyone, just affect. What am I great at? Because I'm not just going to be here and work and do something I hate just because that's like what's told to me. No, I didn't even see my parents do that. So coming into a near-death situation often has that shift. And my TED Talk is that. It's you, it's me. There's something special and unique about each and every one of us. And yeah, our purpose, and everyone has something different. I don't know what it is. I'm not one to say this is what you should. I don't know what's for you. I don't. You've had your individual experience from the moment you were born till this moment where you've been in this live with me. I don't think that's a coincidence, but I don't know. I believe we kind of know. Most of us don't tap into it because of maybe societal standards from whatever society that you're from. But after that, that's when I decided I have to make this experience purposeful and meaningful for me, whatever that means. I've had a lot of fun. I've traveled. I've done so many things. Whether it's skydiving or marathons or award shows or the countries, you name it. That's great. But how can I be of service? How can I use my voice? It is something I love to do. I've always loved to speak and encourage. And because my name is really Hope, maybe my parents named me this for a reason. Maybe I'm actually that. Yeah, that's true, for a reason. And sometimes that reason isn't immediate. However, our reasons for I looking buff. What you talking about? I am buff. Don't play with me. I am buff. Yeah, and I believe it's a lifelong lesson. Yeah, I'm pretty buff. I'm active at least an hour every single day of my life. I love it. You'll see me like on the bike, riding my bike, smiling, like this is great. I look, yes. Rebelle de mer, thank you for sharing the live. Or rollerblading. I love to rollerblade. I love to rollerblade. I love to take my sexy walks. I love that activity. And I remember someone saying, thank you for liking the live you got served, and Nisi. Someone saying, we have 24 hours in the day. I can dedicate at least 1 hour to my body. And I've always done that. I've always been very active. When I used to be in the streets, because I would say I've been in these streets and in these skies for a long time, baby, flying all around. Yeah, it feels great. It feels great. And even working out, I change a lot. Like I've done it all. I've been the Pilates girl. I've been and I didn't even really like Pilates, but I've done hardcore yoga. I've been the gym girl. I've had the personal trainer. I've done like dance. I'll just phase in and phase out different things. However, I'm always active. I've always loved riding my bike. I've always loved rollerblading. I love swimming. I took the cold plunge today. I've been doing that instead of cold showers. But I believe in it. I feel better. I'm 39. I'll be 40 next week. So it aids in everything. It aids in absolutely everything. Yes, roller skate. Hey, put on the little shorts. We used to go to the skating rink, me and my sisters. Oh, it's a great time, with pleasure. And I'm fighting life. Okay, I'm fighting life, but being a flight attendant, when I retired from flying, thank you, Martin, for the follow. When I retired from flying, that's when I became a bit more active, because with flying, I was always moving. And when I was living in New York, I was always taking the stairs and subway and getting ready and taking the train or Uber to the airport, walking through the airport, walking on the plane, getting to the hotel, running everywhere I would go layover. Usually I don't really like gyms. I would if it's cold, but I like to run outside. So if I was in Paris, I would get up and run around the Eiffel Tower or wherever. And it's a lot of movement. I was always moving. And then I would party all the time. But living in Hawaii, when I retired, it's when I actually had to think like, oh, I have to like schedule movement. I don't even call it exercise, like movement. And I retired in 2020. Yeah, and that was a year. So, okay, so everyone in the chat, really go listen to my TED Talk, because my TED Talk, that changed my life. And I already knew I was going to leave flying. I had done everything I wanted to do. I had seen all these countries hundreds of times. I had lived outside the country. I did all of this. And then when that plane incident happened, I, within a year, left, because I had already said, I had been telling people, thank you for the follow, Kirk. I'd been telling my sisters and even my mom, like, if you guys want to travel anywhere, because they could all travel. And my father loves the outdoors and he loves to travel. So I traveled as a child, and we would go to the Grand Canyon and go to all these national parks with pleasure. I appreciate you, Kirk. And that's where I learned travel. And I really learned the ability that I'm accepted everywhere. I will never go somewhere and feel I'm not wanted here. I'm not good enough to be here. They don't want me here. No. I saw that with my dad. My dad is old school, baby boomer, Vietnam vet. I am here. I am worthy of being here. My family is worthy of being here. You will treat us like everyone else. So I saw that. And I also saw the opposite of individuals that didn't feel that they were accepted in spaces, and how that can change your perspective. that can change your your perception of life. Like, I can't do that. I don't want to be in that space. What's up, Tim, Wisconsin? Okay, so I've been to it. Well, I've been to every state. And I usually can think of a funny story or something about every state or wherever people are from. And because my dad would travel often, we would take like, I'm from California and I know the whole state because you can, there's so much in the state. So you can go to the beach, you can go to the mountains, you can go to the city, you can go to a lake, you could go to the farm, you could, all of that, and we would see all of that. But back to that, feeling accepted wherever you go. And I was sharing with both of my parents, I think of the things that they showed me and they taught me that has been beneficial and that I would teach my children if I have them. And that feeling of there's no space that I am not accepted. Thank you, Terry. Thank you for coming in the live. I'll see you next time. And I will constantly speak about that whenever you hear me speak in my speeches, that feeling of knowing you're worthy to occupy any space, every space. There's nowhere I go where I think I am not accepted. No. And I would hear my father say, I fought for this country. And it was like, yeah, my dad fought for this country. So that feeling in itself aided in a part of my confidence. Yeah, because when I speak, it's always about confidence and the power that we each have within us. And that beauty for me, a lot of my travels, if it wasn't with one other friend, it would be me by myself. I don't fear anything. First of all, I'm always walking with protection, but I don't fear that I won't be accepted. I don't ever look at a place where I'm traveling and say they won't like me. No, they're going to love me. What's not to love? I am hope. What is not to love? Thank you for the follow, Sheila, and how powerful that is. And just that notion feels powerful. Just that feels like, yo, these words have energy. They have energy. And as we were speaking about romantic relationships, this is why I say I don't have any bad stories. I mean, I've learned from everything, but I walk with a certain power. So there's certain whippersnappers, as my parents or my grandparents would say, certain whippersnappers ain't gonna come around me. They already know, oh, no, I can't. That's hope. No. They aren't even going to be in my energy at all. They aren't even going to be in the spaces that I would be in. They're not going to be there. You're not going to be there because I'm not kicking it at Day Day's house, like just kicking it. I'm not. You would have to actually be where I'm at. If you're at a TED event, or if you're on the plane with me, or if you're in certain spaces, but outside of that, certain dudes aren't even going to be able to reach me. And that's purposeful. And I see that my mom and dad, solely my father, because he had 5 girls, did that purposely. There's a certain air of confidence. Thank you. And Sheila, wait a minute, Sheila. This is going to blow your socks off. I'm in between Faith, my older sister Faith, and my younger sister Charity. So you have to understand this was planned. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this, okay? Hope, Faith, and Charity. The other 2 have regular names, but not regular, but they have the same type of power. And I was saying, yeah, my dad made it so of course I wouldn't be easily impressed, because of what I was provided for from my parents, but also then me traveling and me speaking and me continuing on. Come on, baby, you gonna have to turn it up a notch, baby. Come on, okay? We ain't playing around here, okay? So, and laughing a lot. I laugh. I'm always laughing. Even if there's a troll, yeah. And I'm grateful for everyone that came before me. Because even before my parents, there's greatness. I believe we all come from strong forces that we've never met that set us up to be great. And they're still possibly around us, protecting us and pushing us to our greatness. And I'm still learning this surrendering, because I do believe there's a beauty in, like, you know what? I'm all right. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm okay. I am loved. I'm protected. I am lucky. I am blessed. I'm feeling good. I'm healthy. Everything's working out. And I just say that instead of everything's not working out. You see this skin? It's going to keep glowing, because that's the thought. The thought is, no, baby, you see these red nails? You see this smooth, moisturized skin? You see these healthy, moisturized curls? You see it? It's only looking better. It's only looking better, okay? That's it. That's it. Not, oh, I look terrible. Absolutely not. Stop saying that to yourself, because you're speaking it into yourself. I don't understand that. This is God's creation. Some people are delusional, pride, and fear blinds. Well, fear is easily, sure. However, let me call you in and not call you out. That there's a space of compassion with that. If you've only seen the opposite of what I'm saying, then that's what's normal. I'm not judging that, and I'm not actually condemning that, because this is only what I saw. So anything opposite of this would be abnormal. But if it was the opposite, I would think what I'm saying is abnormal. So that space of compassion is, oh, well, I don't know. Maybe this is not what the person heard, or not a belief system that they adhere to. Like, I'm really in a space of people make their life work for them. If this works for you, cool. If it doesn't, cool. It's okay. It ultimately, I don't know if any of this even matters. This thing called life is a weird experience. I'm just doing what works for me. However, what works for you is perfect, because it works for you. And yeah, and that beautiful sense of freedom, that beautiful sense, I shared this yesterday when I stepped onto that TED stage and I was speaking. Thank you for the roses, MP. I checked out your content. I like your content. That freedom I felt just speaking, just being aligned with a dream and a goal and something that fuels me and adds purpose and just feels good. It felt like real freedom. It wasn't, I'm doing this because then I can get the money to do. It was like, no, this is exactly where I should be in this moment. I feel like my soul is fulfilled. And Sheila, let me call you in. Who's we? Who's we, baby? Because we got to start using the real terms. We got to start saying I or they, but we, because I ain't complaining, Sheila. And I'm grateful for this life, so who's we? And that's what my mom would say, girl, who's we? I'm very grateful. Just go on a plane that's going down. I'm telling you, let me just tell you what will change your life. Being on an airplane that has to make an emergency landing because an engine is out. That'll just make you possibly be even more positive once you walk off the flight, possibly, after several months of therapy and not flying. Uh, that's what it did for me. But I was very positive before. And I thought I was living. I remember saying, I thought I was living, but I got to turn it up a notch. I thought I was really living, but I don't think I was really living. I was living, and now it's time to shift. And that's what it's about, man. That's what Hope is Speaking is about. Whenever I come on here and I'm talking, this is what I'm talking about. We have had some interesting conversations even yesterday or the day before, because maybe this is helpful to someone. I don't know. If it is, I love it. I love it when it's helpful to someone, because honesty is like a intoxicating drink for me, since I don't drink. And when my honesty, what's up, T? Thank you. Ooh, gorgeous. You could say that again. If you could laugh at my honesty, I will talk more about the gentlemen in my life, because it is funny, because I have broken up with all of them and they all are like, Hope, don't leave me. And I say, I'm going to, because I have to go on. I got to make myself great. I got to use this voice. There's people who need me, and I'm tired of you. So I'm going to go on, but I love you, and you still have a place in my heart, but I'm gone. Well, possibly. But, yeah, sure, Timothy. Yeah, exactly. Me too. I'm grateful for my blessings. I'm grateful for this day, and I journal that every day, a whole page. Matter of fact, let me show you. So, right when I get up, I write 3 pages and then I meditate. So, there is no phones or anything. I don't even sleep with my phone in my room. But the first page is just a dream or whatever's on my brain, because I would be love in your life for what does that mean? I don't know what that means. I would to be in your life for, you would love to, you are, T, right now. You're in my life right now. As a man, accept where you are now. It does not have to be anything more than what it is now. The fact that you have this proximity to me is the blessing in itself. That could be in the process, Sheila. I'm not going to say too much, but there could be a process in that, because I write every day. So right when I get up, I believe, to be clear, just get everything that's out. So if I'm thinking, oh, I want a cheeseburger, I'll just write that. I'll write something. I'll write a full page. Like today, I scripted my day. So I wrote, I love my fun, exciting, healthy, abundant life. Like I just start writing what I want to see. My life is full of ease, fun, money, love, support, luck, opportunities, and blessings. My health feels so good, and it's a whole page. Then the second page is my I am statements. So it typically starts with I am love. I am love. I am loving. I am loved. I am a lover. Yes, immediately when I wake up and before I go to bed, just to get these things out. I am rich, wealthy, affluent, filled, and surrounded by wealth in every way, because it doesn't have to just be financial. I am seeing blessings, receiving blessings, feeling blessings, being the blessing. I am abundant in every way. I am feeling so good, so positive, so accomplished, so successful. So I'm showing you what I journal right when I wake up. No phones in my room. I spend as much time as I need writing these 3 pages. I'll read the rest of the I am statements. I am so happy and full of joy. I am healthy, flexible, agile. I am positive, optimistic, and magical. I am always in perfect divine timing. I am loving my life. I am soft, bright, clear, healthy, smooth, even, firm, youthful, glowing skin. I always do this. I always write like what I want to see instead of saying, oh, my skin looks terrible. No, I write this out. Let's see. I am safe, protected, connected. I am so powerful. I bring what I want to me with ease. Yes, that's right. Cool, Aaron. Absolutely. I am clarity. I am purpose. I am perfect alignment. I love traveling to new countries. I am ease, relaxed, calm, organized. I am gifted, bright, intelligent. I am loving and living my absolute best life. So this is the second page. The first page, I usually journal my dream or whatever is on my mind, and then I write out my day. Like today, everything went well. Today, I received that opportunity in the email, and it was even better than I expected. And then my last page are gratitude statements. So it always just starts with, I am grateful. I am grateful for my health and clarity. I am grateful for this day. I am grateful for my strength. I am grateful for my beautiful home. I am grateful for this good, positive, healthy, thriving feeling that runs throughout my body in every way all day. Yeah, because listen, I also believe, Sheila, and I always speak about this. To reach one is to teach one. Like the goal is not to hoard whatever you learn. And I learned this from my parents. Life is about sharing something, because if I can share something, just like whatever my parents or anyone in my life has shared with me that's added to me, they've added to my life. And that's it. It's the knowledge. And this may work for someone or it may not. It works for me. So if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, find what works for you. However, I find, especially in the morning, and I did this while I was flying, because as a flight attendant, I would say, I got to program my day, because as soon as I step out of my hotel room, the world gets to program me. Yeah, sharing is caring. I'm programming my day. So when I step out of the room, I'm already positive and meditated and prayed and journaled or whatever practice, and I'm ready. Nothing can really permeate. Once I've done all of this, and then I go into a 10 to 20 minute meditation and deep breathing and just visualizing a great day, and then I'm ready. I have some water, I stretch, I floss, I brush my teeth, I scrape my tongue, I spray rice water on my face, put on some sunscreen, and I immediately have my tea, and I go outside for my sexy walk. And it's powerful because I even wrote, I'm grateful for the sun. I love the sun. As you see, I look great with the tan, honey. I look great in the sun, baby. I saw a creator that said you can't be grateful and angry at the same time. You can't. So even if I woke up with a thought that wasn't empowering, I can say, oh, that's not true. I'll just start going into my gratitude statements. I'm not your better half, Youth the King. I am hope. You can refer to me as that. But I'm not your better half. And you're whole already. You are already whole. So, whatever thought you hear, you get to determine if it's true for you or if it's not true. I would say, oh no, that's not true for me. I don't need that. Let me just journal the exact opposite. If I had the thought like I don't have enough, I would journal, I am grateful that I have more than enough in this day. Just, I get to change that. I don't allow that thought to linger and put roots and spread. And no, I get to change it with the simple pen and seeing it right when I wake up. It's powerful. And trust me, as a flight attendant, I got to this is where I've already always been positive, but I've encountered everything that you could imagine in the air and the airports traveling. And I found this powerful because nothing gets to me. Nothing. Nothing. Thank you for sharing the live, Sheila. And I notice how easily there are some individuals that maybe have anger or whatever it is. However, the moment that I allow one person, one thing that really has no impact on my life, 10 minutes after it occurs, an hour after it occurs, a day after it occurs, not only have I forgotten about it, it doesn't impact my life. This means nothing. Why am I going to allow this to bring up my blood pressure? I'm sweating. Now I'm thinking they always do this. No, let me step out of this. This isn't even about me. This is something about the person, but because it has nothing to do with me, I can listen. I can listen. And my father would say, the moment you get upset or raise your voice or use profanity, you've lost, and you have to understand it's not about you. Yeah. Think about, sure, and it's a practice. However, what's the other option? Especially as a flight attendant, because not only it's customer service taken to a completely different level. And I would see this again from my dad. I always say things about my dad because I'm a daddy's girl and I love my mother. Both my parents are great individuals, but I didn't see them going off on people and saying, I got to tell you. No. And I actually value that in me. I see myself as like a president's wife, not even the wife. I'm the president. I don't have the luxury to react in that way. Why would I react in that way? I am the person that people look to. I have to build myself to be first detached. Now, unless this is like life-threatening, okay, then there's a reason to be more involved. But someone says, I don't like your shirt. Oh, okay. They don't like it, but it doesn't mean anything about me. And if I do feel it's true, then maybe I don't like the shirt. Or maybe I need validation from somebody else. What's up, Jay Hill? I don't know, but I'm too safe and secure in myself. And I value being a level head. And I value being intentional. And I value really living in this. I don't just speak about this. I got to live this. This is why I'm showing you this. I actually started a new journal today because I do this every day. And even if I'm upset, I'll come and I'll open the journal and I'll write like I am upset. And then I'll say, why am I upset? I am upset because I was told that my hair is ugly. Okay, why does this make me feel uncomfortable? Because my hair isn't ugly. Okay, so I can let this go. Like I'm almost having a conversation, but then I'm releasing it instead of letting it stew and simmer and go deeper. I don't have the luxury of doing that. When I say I really have to let all this go to be clear, to speak and show up and and do whatever I choose in life. These are my methods. And a lot of this came from flying, because you can think customer service is one way, but put yourself in an airport on an airplane. When someone says, I hate this airline, I'll never fly this airline again, you did this to me. Okay, they don't mean I did this. I am just the representative for the company. This has nothing to do with me. Now that I know that, okay, my purpose is to be here to help this person. Listen, and how can I help? I take away all of that personal attack. It has nothing to do with me. And most of the time, people just want to be heard. They don't even actually care about a resolution. They just want to get out. They want to get it out. This is why talk therapy is important. If you go to a therapist, as you're talking, you're hearing yourself and you're figuring it out as you're releasing it. Sure. Okay. All right, sir. Well, what would be the best outcome for you? If I could solve this for you, what would that look like? That would be my response. I'm spectacular, baby. Okay? And I think that I'm spectacular. What is the best outcome in saying, I don't know if I could help you? This ain't good. I'm in customer service. Put it on the other person, because that may help you problem solve. Instead of trying to figure it out, throw it back onto the customer. What would be the best outcome for you in this moment? If I could solve this problem, what would that look like for you? Would that be a voucher of monetary value? Would that be a seat change? Let me help you by you telling me exactly what would be the perfect outcome, and then go from there. There's just ways to make life easier, and it's not getting upset. It's actually being in my head but detached. This doesn't have anything to do with me, but I can use the skills I have to understand this isn't about me, and I'm here to serve the customer. So how can I solve this? And go from there. Stop taking everything so personal. And this is where journaling comes in, because I'm intentionally in myself. I already feel great. So if someone verbally says something to me, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. I've already done what I needed to do to get myself in the perfect space. So I will develop this, because I've been developing a journal to actually sell that would be more thought out, but really with these 3 prompts. Write out your dream, or write out your whatever it is. And it's these 3 pages every day. And it may not be the whole page the first day. It may be just 1 sentence. It may be just 1 sentence. But that 1 sentence will turn into 2 sentences. And that 2 sentences in 3 months will turn into 3 sentences. And maybe in 6 months, you'll be able to write half a page. It's just the habit of starting. What's up, Blessed Tone? It's the habit of starting. And I find journaling so therapeutic because it's getting out. Don't let whatever you're feeling stew. Go outside and talk it out. Write it out. Sing it out. But just get it out so you can hear it and it's actually getting out of your body. I find that that can be very powerful. And thank you for sharing the live. So, Beauty Day. Yeah, of course. Oh, yes, Timothy, because my father was in sales and he was an entrepreneur and he taught me about sales. And maybe that's another area I could go into because I don't know what happened to customer service. And it's not sure, the customer can always be right. However, there's a way you handle people. And it's not about being upset and rolling your eyes and then get out of the role. If you aren't able to serve a customer, get out of the role. People are idiots. That's to be expected, but you don't have to be an idiot with them. They do. If my siblings' names are Faith and Charity and all of this, we all were raised in this. As I said, we true to this, okay? So we're all very powerful. One of my sisters owns she's a sommelier. So she has a wine company where she pairs wines with cheeses and chocolates and fruits and teaches wine education, because the area of California we were raised in had a huge wine industry. So she's been drinking wine for a long time and has developed it into a thriving business. Yes, good night, Sheila. Good night, good night. I'm glad you enjoyed your day and another ring around the sun. I'm so happy for you. Another one of my sisters is in the legal field. Another one of my sisters is like a math whiz. She was one of those types that would like do math for fun. I have a lot of mathematicians and engineers in my family. Like, she loves math, which is fascinating because I think I took algebra a few times. So she's in finance, and another sister of mine is in upper management with the Department of Treasury. So we're all very confident, outspoken, beautiful humans, and I love them all, and they are all very successful. So, yes, I don't think I will come on tomorrow. Maybe I will, but I'm traveling. I'll be in the airport, so maybe I'll come on from the airport, but we will see. This is a great talk tonight. This was great. Something was pulling me to come on because I typically don't on the weekends, and I am happy that I did. So whatever energy that's on here that heard me today, that needed to hear me, thank you, because I don't typically come on Saturdays, and we got to 6.7 thousand likes. I will. It sure will. Okay, all right. Well, then, if you are hearing something that's beneficial, then I'm fulfilling my purpose. So thank you. And again, go watch my TED Talk. My link is in the bio under my TED Talk, or go to YouTube and just type Hope TED or Hope the emergency landing you need, and it will give you a grasp on my message, because I do believe it's you. So I love you all, and as always, be the reflection of love, because we all come from an infinite source of love. Thank you, Aaron, and thank you for popping in. You've been in 3 consecutive nights or more than that. I appreciate your energy, and I appreciate your thoughtful words that you always put in the chat. I really appreciate you. Be the reflection of love, because we all come from an infinite source of love. Show up. I showed up today. Fresh off of my beauty day, moisturized skin. I exfoliate it with my rice. I put rice in my blender or magic bullet and grind it fine. And I exfoliated, and then I put on a nice clay mask, and I dyed my eyebrows, and I did my nails, and I put a deep conditioner in. It was like a beautiful beauty day, but I showed up. And that's all you have to do is show up. But if you don't show up, that blessing can't be given to you. So show up and make it look good when you show up. We were talking about the pajamas and people going to the airport. Don't do that. When I go to the airport tomorrow, I will be suited and booted. Okay? Ain't no such thing as me. All my pajamas are silk and sexy. I don't do anything outside of that. So show up, make it look good when you show up, and contribute more to yourself, because you deserve it. Pour into yourself, drink more water, say great things, give yourself more compassion, forgive yourself, listen to yourself, learn yourself, tell yourself that you're beautiful. Be more of yourself and learn what that is, because you got to ask, like, why am I doing this? Oh, I'm doing this for those mofos? Oh, I'm not doing this no more. No, I ain't doing this. Start asking those questions. And when you ask the right questions, you get the right answers. So, Hope is speaking. this is what I do just about every day. If you miss any of my lives, because I come on randomly, all of my lives are uploaded onto my YouTube of the same name, Hope is Speaking, under my TikTok live. And I just uploaded a new video to YouTube, so check it out. It's talking about what I learned for my TED Talk experience. In high regards, love yourself and leave anything that's not for you alone. Okay? Good night, or good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where you are.